It was supposed to be a routine afternoon when the HOA came knocking. Their plan? Intimidate me, scare my family, and assert control over my property. I opened the door to find two of their enforcers, clipboard in hand, puffing up with authority. They didn't know I had backup, the kind of backup that could turn their intimidation into a disaster for them. Before they could speak, a figure appeared behind me, my son's personal bodyguard, a former special ops agent, quiet, composed, and deadly efficient. The enforcers froze, realizing almost instantly that their usual tactics wouldn't work here. My son's bodyguard didn't need to say a word. His presence was a warning, a wall of silent authority that made the intruders question every step. The HOA enforcers tried their usual spiel, reciting rules, bylaws, and alleged violations. But I had prepared for this moment for weeks. I calmly reminded them that my property was fully compliant with all laws, and that any attempt to intimidate or trespass could result in immediate legal action. Every word I spoke was measured, confident, and backed by both legal authority and my son's security. The tension in the air was palpable. One misstep, one aggressive gesture from the enforcers, and they could find themselves not just on the wrong side of the law, but facing consequences they had never imagined. And unlike their typical targets, I wasn't alone. My son's bodyguard stood like a shadow, ready to intercept any threat, his eyes never leaving the intruders. Realizing they were outmatched, the enforcers stammered excuses, then retreat, their clipboard shaking in their hands. They had underestimated me, my family, and the sheer preparedness we brought to defending our property. It was a textbook display of authority and control. Intimidation met with calm, strategic defense. By the time the incident was over, the HOA had backed off completely. Word spread quickly among the neighborhood, "Mess with our family, and you deal with more than just the landowner." My son's bodyguard became a legend overnight, a silent protector who had turned what could have been a confrontation into a complete victory without a single shot fired. The property remained untouched, the family safe, and the HOA left humiliated. Their attempts at intimidation had failed spectacularly, and their credibility in the community was further eroded. Meanwhile, we enjoyed the peace and security that comes from being prepared, owning the land, and having the right allies at your side. It was more than just a win. It was a statement. You don't threaten my family, and you certainly don't step onto my property without understanding the consequences. From that day forward, the HOA learned that some houses, some families, and some properties simply cannot be bullied, and sometimes the quietest defenders make the loudest impact.